Hey, 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 happy International Women's Day. And look at my panel. My panel is fantastic. They're ready to go. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to bring everybody on one shot because I'm excited. It's International Women's Day. Hey, everybody. Give them a big wave. Everybody give them a big wave. How you guys doing?
Good. Really good, Charles.
Good morning. Good morning. Now, I have a panel here that we're just going to talk about it today and how you're feeling. And then if you notice, I got, a handsome man down there in the corner because I wanted to have a men's perspective on International Women's Day because I think it's for everybody. Everybody should jump on board and everybody should talk about it and everybody should get involved. So, Kimberly, I know you're my spunky one. always partying. How you doing?
I'm really, really good. I'm really excited, especially today. Good morning.
All right. So let's talk to you first, and then we're going to bring back the panel right after this. So, Kimberly, give us some background on yourself.
I am a registered psychotherapist in private practice at True Roots Counseling Services. And I am a lover of everything chaotic because I come with the remedy to bring peace to those things that are actually tumultuous. That's me.
All right. So this day today, give me in one word, what does this day mean to you?
The word that's actually coming to my mind right now is achievement. That we have been held back and silenced and put on a shelf for ever and a day. And now we're pushing beyond those barriers. We're pushing beyond those limitations, and we're achieving the excellence we were meant to. So I can, 2021, International Women's Day is really about achievement. It's about achievement.
All right. Let's bring on Natasha.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Charles.
So, Natasha, I'm going to ask you the same question. What does today mean to you?
I would say for me, equality. I would say for me, it means equality. That's all. Just the ability to have equal opportunity as our brothers.
That's me. Tell us a little bit about yourself now. Who is Natasha?
Yes, well, actually, I'm a Lebanese Croatian Canadian, very proudly. I've lived abroad for quite some time in my life, and I'm an investor in housing and sustainable housing for Canadians, and I'm an educator as well. So I've worked in education for 13 years across the globe, and I work in second language instruction, and now in instructional coaching. And I have written for many magazines, published, public speaking, all of the above. However, my true pride is my culture and my heritage.
Lovely, lovely. All right, we'll be right back. I got to get this man on here. He's a good friend of mine. Let's bring him on. Steven!
Hey, Charles. How you doing, man?
It's been a minute, my friend. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Great times and a real great day today for us to celebrate our all of the lovely women in the world and the special day that they have.
All right, so I'm going to ask you the same question. As a man's point of view, what's today mean to you?
Yeah, actually, for me, it's a little special because we've celebrated it around the world, and we've seen countries that have closed down to celebrate women, and so that's what it is for me. It's about a celebration. It's about a celebration of women, and it's about certainly all the things that both Natasha and Kimberly stated. I think that we're all looking to become equal, to play in an equal level playing field, and certainly that's the goal. But I think today in particular should be about celebrating women. I was saying to a friend of mine today when he was questioning some of the things that I had written, and I said to him, well, I don't know where you came from, but I know where I came from, and so we have women to thank for that. So you might want to think about that next time. So that's what it is to me. It's about celebration, and I think we should be celebrating. And I think, by the way, we should be doing it more than one day a year. So,
all right, we're gonna bring everybody back one shot, but I have to stop for the cause and celebrate this company that brings all these people together, all these great people to my show. Stay tuned. Here we go.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes, big shout out and a round of applause to IWB. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to them. So, how was it? The celebration? You guys have the big show event coming up
Tonight.
Yes. So you guys excited?
Yeah.
I know we had some guests coming on earlier. We talked about it. Is there still time to register? Do you know, Stephen, if people can still register for it?
Absolutely, for sure. The more the better. Again, it's a celebration, and it's something that we're very proud of because, and by the way, I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a co-founder of the organization, and so I'm very, very proud of that. And of course, my wife is the CEO and other co-founder. But it's about a celebration. This is actually not only is it the International Women's Day, but it's the 4-year anniversary of Immigrant Women in Business. We launched on February. On March 8th, and every year we've had that celebration, which is kind of a co-celebration of our anniversary as well as International Women's Day. So we're very excited about that, and we've always celebrated by getting together and doing things. This will be kind of the first virtual one we've had, and hopefully it'll be the last virtual one we have. So yes, we're all praying for that. Especially my wife, who, as you may know, is a big hugger. And she just loves to hug everybody in the room. I think
that's going to be her nickname. Everybody talks, you always say Savannah, and
exactly.
the hugging.
She loves the hugging. She definitely loves that. So we'd like to really make this event. We were planning actually this year on bringing some really spectacular people into Toronto to speak at the convention center. We had the day booked, and we were going to have an all-day session and some great speakers coming in from all over the world. And so we'll have that next year instead, and we'll get 10,000 women together, and it'll be quite the celebration. I think we need to do that in North America because, quite frankly, there's not enough emphasis on this particular day, which 29 countries closed down on this day to celebrate women and applaud their achievements and all these different things. And North America, we're still a little bit behind on that. So IWB can step up and be that beacon of a ray of sunshine and celebration for women.
Yeah. So when you mentioned it, I didn't really think of it that way. In other places, it's a day off. It's like a totally celebration. It's a day off. It's not like you're going to work and saying to somebody, "Oh, happy Indian." No, because they should be at home, relaxing. Today's their day.
Celebrating.
Everything you do, celebrate it. One day off. It should be that. So I agree with you 110%.
Yeah, I think we need the day off.
Yes, you can take the day off.
I think we need the day off.
Take the day off. Go ahead.
Let me ask the ladies this. What do you see in the future? What do you hope to see in the future?
Kim, you want to go first?
I was being gentle and waiting to see.
I know you do.
Honestly, in the future, I want to see more of us working together and literally shattering the barriers. Always my heart's intention is for us to achieve and succeed in the things that God has placed us here on earth to do. And when I look at businesses and still see women fighting to be in the C-suite environment, when I look at communities that are still led and directed by males, not to say that that's a problem, but seriously, we need to make room for women there as well. And so any table that I look at and see a lack of diversity in terms of women of color, women of excellence, these are the things that I, in the future, want to see. I want to see diversity on every single level, whether it's in parliament, in politics, in business, everywhere. It needs to be diverse. And so, what I see for the future, I see that diversity is not stepping back, that we're moving forward. Women are going to be taking the realm, not snatching it necessarily from all men, but certainly snatching it from those who are trying to hold us back. Now is the time to step aside and let us move forward as we were meant to.
So
Yeah.
I like that part, like you said, not to take it away, not to snatch it, but to say, hey, there's some room. And I like how you said that there's some room. Okay, there's different positions. You know, some corporations have 3-4 positions. Hey, we need to open it up some more. So I'm glad how you said that is perfect. All right. So what about you? I know you passed it on to her. So now you go ahead, Natasha. What are you saying?
You know, I always take a very diplomatic approach because I work first and foremost in education. So I don't sit on the field that women are better or more competent. I believe that God has given all of us gifts naturally that we have and that we are here to utilize. So I fully agree with Kim on that. And I think that if anything, given the opportunity and the chance to interview, to be chosen, to be accepted into areas where we may not have once had that platform. Do I believe that we need to invade men's spaces? No, I don't. And I will never say that. I believe, and especially true to my Middle Eastern heritage, there are areas that are, that are for men, and that's perfectly fine. It's just the ignorance towards women and towards our abilities and skills that I see changing, and especially to our sisters coming from different backgrounds and different heritages. We have different gifts that are true and innate to us, and they need to be recognized. And especially in the face of other women, we don't show up as, say, women from different cultures. We show up in our own space with our own clothing, with our own hair, with our own heritage, with our own language, and they need to be recognized, especially in certain cultures. The woman is still the matriarch of the home, and we have our families that come first, and that is our true eternal life. So I believe that in the future and going forward, that we will be allowed a space and a platform in order for us to encompass all the beauties of our existence.
All right. I want to ask Stephen a question. When you think of an International Women's Day and what women do, and you talk about, jobs, when you really think about it, they have more than one job. You know what I mean? Because they're the mom at home, they're the wife, they're the worker outside. Talk about that as a husband, all the jobs our wives have to do. Because when you want to break it down, each one is a job. We can pay them for each one. Because I don't know about you, that 9 months of carrying 80 how much pounds in front of me, I ain't doing it, Stephen.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Charles. Because you're right, you're not doing that. But so here's the reality, I think, which I'm really embracing, and I've always loved it. All my companies, quite frankly, even the companies I have today are dominated by women. We fell into the pattern of male dominance based on strength, but we always viewed strength as physical. It was a natural thing. I mean, men are stronger physically.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But what we didn't ever encompass, which we're starting to now, is strength is far more than physical.
Yeah.
Mental strength, all the other things that you think of, emotional, everything else. And women are not unequal, but in my opinion, based on my experience in dealing with them, and they're stronger. Well, there's no question about it. Now, what I'm seeing to your question is that even that typical mother role is now starting to be shared by the parents. The fathers are getting involved. They're taking them to sports. They're doing the things, and that's becoming shared as well. And I think that you're going to find. I mean, look at what's happening. I think Kimberly mentioned politics. Who can name? Go around right now and ask people to name, especially outside of America, but even in America. Who's the most famous Supreme Court justice ever? People aren't going to be naming men. There's one that stands out for most. and she was brilliant, probably one of the greatest brilliant legal minds in the world. And so, we celebrate people like that who have stepped up and shown that women aren't weaker, maybe physically, but certainly that's the only way. So, and obviously talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but so these are things that are happening right now. The shift is there. And I think that more and more men are realizing that, especially entrepreneurs and people who are growing companies and everything, you want a better company, make sure there's more women involved. Because quite frankly, we need that perspective. And today more than ever, because one of the great things about women in business, women in general, is they have a far more emotional sense. Their emotions play a role. And in today, where social impact and all these, doing good and everything plays a major role in companies, that is needed now more than ever. So to Kimberly's point, I don't think there's going to be a lot of snatching being done. I think that men are going to say, hey, I know I need to surround. I was on the call this morning with our team, and there was one other guy, 14. They're all women, and I love that. I love the input that they've got. They're part of the team, and I treat them as equals and always have. And I think that even in the relationship I have with which you all know, my lovely wife, we're definitely an equal. We talk about things, and the only thing is, and for me, of course, she is physically stronger than me too. So, I lose out on every area. I don't even have any areas I'm stronger than. So, yeah. So that's the deal with me.
Oh my goodness.
So Steve, you ain't winning any of the battles. Is that what
I'm winning 0 battles? Not mentally, not physically. I'm definitely number 2.
You know something? That's all good. And you know what the funny thing is? We joke around that, but to me, it's okay as couples to say that. Here's the funny thing, if your wife is better in something, or your sister or your mom or your aunt is better than something, there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, you know something? I'm not good at that. Go to her. Go to her. She's aces on that. What's wrong with saying that? Because you guys are all a team. And I don't mind saying it. My wife is better than me, and when my letters, my emails, before I put a post out, I'm like, babe, can you read that? Can you make sure this is good? Because that's not my strength. It's a tag team, everything. So definitely, I like how you said that. If she's the knockout punch, if you get into a fight, I know, stand behind Savannah. She'll protect us all, right?
No question about that. For sure.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Charles. I'm CAROLYN Dickinson, and I'm here to tell you that the Life Success Board systems are live. These success boards have massive impact. The system will allow you to be able to envision that anything is possible for every area of your life. It'll give you direction, it'll give you focus, and it'll keep you moving forward. There are 8 success board systems available to you, plus bonuses. So for more information on this amazing system, click the link below. You don't want to miss it. Back to you, Charles.
See, Stephen, I understand it as well, because I've teamed up with a phenomenal woman like CAROLYN Dickinson. She's the same thing. I've partnered up with her. If you want one of the success boards, do click the link below. They are helping me out tremendously in my business get to the next level. So there you go. Partner up with the person to make you better. And that's all it is. Don't be scared. Just partner up. So as I said, partnering up, who is one person that you would love to partner up with? Anybody around the world. If you can go back in time in the future, anybody that you would love to partner up with and just pick their brains for International Women's Day, who would you guys choose? I'll give you 1 second to think about that. Kimberly, who would you choose?
It's funny because Stephen evoked her, and I can't help but think of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I would, especially now at this hour when we are attempting to make things that have sat dormant for so long actually our future goals. We need the laws, we need the language, we need the policies to be enacted. And there was no better scripter of laws and understander, a person who genuinely understand not just what was necessary, but the culture and the barriers to making what was necessary happen. She had a long-term vision and long-term goal and plan that I think like we desperately need right now. So if I could pick her brain, oh, I'd be delighted. I'd be delighted.
Natasha, what about you?
I would choose Sheikha Moza from Qatar because she is an advocate for education. And without education, there is no change. Ignorance only leads to more of the same. And we need to educate ourselves, the generation before us, and the generation after us. Without that, there's no way you can have any change at all because no one is born with the knowledge to be better, to make better change. Matter of fact, they can be born to be worse. So we need education. We need our children in schools. We need them to know that they can achieve no matter what they look like, no matter where they come from, no matter their background.
Nice. Stephen.
Actually, I'd choose a man. I'd choose Mandela. I think that for me personally, his stance on equality, his treating people all as equals, black, white, male, female. I'd love to, I'd love to spend hours and days with him talking about how he did that, how he truly believed it. He not only believed it and walked it, he walked the walk, talked the talk, but he wanted to see that equality among human beings. And that would be somebody I would love to, spend some time with and find out and learn from him.
All right. For me, I was thinking about it as I asked the question. I said to myself, who would I? And I didn't even think about it. It was just a question I was asking. And as you're going around the table, I go, you know something? For me, it'd be Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
But I want to interview his wife first.
The two of them.
Listen, Mandela divorced his wife the day he got out of jail.
I do. I sure do.
It was over.
And I know why. I know the whole story about Mandela.
No, I would do Martin Luther King and his wife because I wouldn't see how strong she was to go through all the stuff that he was going through. You know what I mean? Like to hold down a family and have death threats coming through and still be strong and lead. Like you said, everybody's the same. There's nobody different. So you know what I mean? I think that's why the saying came out. Behind every strong man, there's a strong woman. You know what I mean? And vice versa. I think that saying should be both ways.
Yeah.
Right? It should be both ways. So definitely.
We should change behind and say beside.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. When will it change? Here's the question. Will that saying ever change? Like it's a saying that everybody uses, it's an ongoing saying for years. Mm-hmm. Do we change it? I got to start changing it. Like you're saying, I got to start changing it. So other people will start saying, instead of behind, beside. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. So that's exactly right, Charles. It just starts with us, right? You just have to start these things. And they do it. I haven't said that in years.
Right.
And if anybody has said that to me, I said, you mean beside? So you start doing that and people doing. I've had people now who talk to me, and when they're going to say that saying, they actually change it to because they know I'm going to correct them.
Right.
And they say, and you can see that beside, and they actually say it that way. So we need to really believe it. We need to walk the walk, right? I mean, we talk the talk. We're always big on talking, and the field I'm in, about ending hunger and stuff like that. There's a lot of talk that goes on, but whoa. We need to step up and start really believing it. And, I think that you've heard me speak before, and, things happen when we really, truly believe them. So we need to get the men. And this is why I'm always, working with women to say, we've got to work together with the men and really start them to believing and understanding that this is a shared thing and we are equal. And I talk to male entrepreneurs all the time, and we talk about it openly. This is why I'm really, kind of celebrating this day, because I know I can see change. I can see it happening. People are talking about it. People I know, men who have, been heads of companies or their own companies, and they're realizing that the real success is going to be in making sure that, diversity and inclusion is part of it, but the gender equality is there. Because that's how they will grow, and that's how my company will grow. I can tell you that right now.
So then let me ask you guys, anybody can answer this, because you're right. Instead of, you got to practice saying it, because I believe it, but that's an old saying and I need to change the old saying. But how do we change the old narrative in some of the countries? Like there's a lot of countries where, you know, the lady walks 10 steps behind and old traditions and this. How do we start, you know, one day and keep moving it? How do we get that out there? How do we change that?
It's an individual process, like Stephen was saying. If you want to change a culture, you have to start with the individual. And it becomes, in much the same way as Stephen was saying, your language, your action, your stance. That's the thing that you share within your sphere of influence, and it spreads out. And then being able to actually address policy and procedures and laws and these overarching systemic things that actually gird up a society and a community. But even if you change those things without making the individual practice your own, it won't have effect. So the two have to work in tandem. You change the system as you change your individual culture and spread that out within your sphere of influence, and so on and so on and so on.
All right. So we have to be the change first. So you can be the change by registering for tonight's event. Stephen, what time is it? No, the link. I'm going to put the link up. Tell us what time. How can we get tickets? What do we have to do, Stephen?
So put the link up. I mean, you just go register. It starts at 5:00, although I know people will be there a little bit earlier, do a little networking. Everyone likes to come in, so certainly there. But 5:00, it'll go till 7:30. Be some great speakers there. Really excited about some of the speakers actually, and just it's going to be, just as I said, a celebration of all the great accomplishments, and for men and women to get together and just, you know, make this a day about women, and how, you know, the wonderful things that they're doing and the contribution that they make in the world.
Yeah, there it is. I'm going to leave it up there for a few minutes. You can go to Eventbrite and just, you know, pre-register your tickets. It is happening tonight. Make sure you log on. And I'm calling out all my brothers. You know, I don't care if you're at work or anywhere. If you got a few minutes to log on, do log on. You know what I mean? Tell everybody else to log on, because we need to support. You know what I mean? We need to support what of our beautiful ladies are doing. Our mothers, our sisters, our aunts, cousins, everybody. If they're doing something, we need to, you know, jump on board, because I think this is going to be a phenomenal event. So before we let everybody go, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I love today because I want her to know that, you know, moving forward, and every day is her day. And it's not just one day. Every day is her day. Every day she goes out, she strives. But I'm going to ask the two ladies first. I asked this for the last panel. If you can go back and talk to the 10-year-old you, what would you tell the 10-year-old you? And I'm going to start with you, Natasha. Last time you passed it over to Kimberly. I got to grab you first. So Natasha, the 10-year-old you, what would you say to yourself?
Just stop worrying. It will all fall into place. At the given moment, when it should, it will. Just stop worrying.
Stop worrying. Wow. That was, what do you mean? I'm going to have to attach myself to that one. What do you mean stop worrying? At 10 years old, what were you worrying about?
You know, you grow up with certain biases and you worry about them, and then you think about them, and you're told all kinds of different narratives that might not be true to you. And just stop worrying about them. If they don't concern you, let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. It's not yours to own.
I like that. Because I did a lot of that growing up too. What about this? Who thinks about this? What do they think of me? What do they don't think of me? Yeah, I love that one. I do love that one. All right. Yeah, come on, Smiley. Let's go.
All I could think about when I was 10, people were always telling me to be quiet, be still, don't be so loud, stop taking up so much space. And if I had the opportunity to go back to my 10-year-old self, I'd say, Kimberly Ann, take up all the room that you want. Speak loud, speak proud, be fully, entirely who you are. Because who you are is who you are meant to be. You're a change maker. You're a leader. Leaders are loud. They direct. They correct. They walk boldly in places that other people are not going. So don't be afraid. Don't listen to the naysayers. Walk boldly into the places that are yours, claim them, name them, and bring forth the excellence that's in you to bring. That's what I tell her. Oh, yes.
There you- I can't see you, Kimberly, like that. No, there, yeah. There you go. I love it. Always smiling, and that's what you got to. And that's what you got to be. Always have that spirit of happiness and smiling. You know what I mean? Because if you said it, if we don't, make the change and be ourselves, and don't be scared, like you said, don't worry about this stuff, and always have that spirit of smiling. We can all change the narrative and change the world. So, Stephen.
Yeah, it's a question I get a lot when you're speaking, and people say, well, if you could go back and, tell your younger self, what advice would you give them? And so mine's always kind of the same. It's kind of twofold. It would be to, first of all, believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself and what you're doing. You'll find success, by the way, in any individual out there today has always started with the belief in what they're doing in themselves. And then I always carry it into, and be patient. I think that everybody, especially young people, they're always wanting it. They're wanting it right away. But the reality is, the formula for success, and Charles, we've talked about this before, is a consistent effort over time.
Right.
So it's going to take time. But if you believe in yourself and what you're doing, and you put the time and effort in, you're going to create any success in the world that you want. And, that would be the advice I'd give to myself. I wish I could go back and give it to myself. But yeah, anyway.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for jumping on board. But before we go, I just want to give a big round of applause to my wife, my daughter, my mom, my aunts, my cousins, my best friends, all the ladies in my life. A big round of applause to you guys, and all the ladies around the world. I want to give you a big round of applause. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Tonight, make sure you register, get on it tonight. We will see you live there. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
It's come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are